Everyone, welcome to my channel MBATutor.in. My name is Rahul Banerjee. I am your Rahul sir, and I will be taking you the next economics session on 10 principles of economics, which is as per your MAKAUT MBA first semester syllabus. Now, lot of students have requested me to take the sessions on English so that they can understand the language. So what I am doing bit of English, Hindi and Bengali so that everyone can understand my session, and these all sessions are free of cost and for the benefit of you people. Those who are in the first semester of MBA, please refer to my channel. Also please share my channel to your friends who are into the same class, and all my videos are coming without any kind of edit, so there will be lot of mistake, so please forgive me for the mistakes. So let's start with the today's session, where I will discuss 10 principles of economics. Okay, so in this session we will take care of the different kind of questions related to the economics activity, some principles of how people make decisions, and the principle how people interact with the others. So what are the principle and how the economy work as a whole, let us describe with the help of the 10 principles of economics. So let's start with the first kind of questions, which deal with how people make decisions. So all these principles are based on the fact that resources are scarce. So যেখানে অভাব আছে, we need to deal with the scarcity. So scarcity, why scarcity happen? Scarcity happen because of the limited resources. So we cannot fulfill or produce all the goods and services for the people who wish to have it. So economy is the study how the society manages its scarce resources. যারা প্রথম এই স্লাইডগুলো দেখছো, প্লিজ রেফার টু মাই প্রিভিয়াস ভিডিও, যেখানে আমি ইকোনমিক্সের ডেফিনেশন এবং কেন আমরা ইকোনমিক্স পড়ছি বা ম্যানেজেরিয়াল ইকোনমিক্স কেন পড়বো সেটা সম্বন্ধে ডিসকাস করেছি। নাও বেসড অন দ্য scarcity, each and every economist study how people decide what to buy, how much to work, save and spend. Also firms had to decide how much to produce and how many workers to hire, and as a society we need to decide how to divide the resources between the national defense, consumer goods, protecting environment and other needs. So as a society সবটাই আমরা ওয়েপন তৈরি করব ফর ফাইটিং, দ্যাট ইজ নট পসিবল, বিকজ যদি আমরা উই আর গোয়িং ফর দ্য ন্যাশনাল ডিফেন্স, দেন half of our population will be starving. So we need to produce goods for the consumers. We need to invest in the agricultural product as well. Now এই সমস্ত ডিসিশন গুলো ইকোনমিস্টরা কিভাবে অ্যারাইভ করে? বাই দ্য হেল্প অফ দ্য 10 প্রিন্সিপালস অফ ইকোনমিক্স, যার প্রথম প্রিন্সিপাল হচ্ছে পিপল ফেস ট্রেড অফস। সো পিপল definitely trade off face করে because of the scarcity. Now there is no such thing free lunch in the world, so making decisions requires trading one goal for another. For example, so students spend their time how a family decide to spend its income. স্টুডেন্টরা ধরো তোমাদের মধ্যে কেউ কেউ পড়াশোনা করছো, যাদের মধ্যে বেশিরভাগ স্টুডেন্টই পড়াশোনা ঠিকঠাক না করে অন্যান্য অ্যাক্টিভিটিসে ইনভলভ হয়ে যায়। সো অ্যাজ এ স্টুডেন্ট ইউ হ্যাভ টু ডিসাইড যে তুমি কোন অ্যাক্টিভিটিতে বেশি ইনভলভ থাকবে, whether you will read or you are doing some other activities rather than read. So it is up to you. Similarly, in a family, if you have some income, তুমি কোন খাতে কত টাকা খরচ করবে, it is depend on the family, mainly family member decided by the decision maker of the family. So since there is scarcity of time, scarcity of income, scarcity of resources, you need to sacrifice something to get something. So people must face trade-offs. Now these trade-offs will give you a two concept. One is efficiency and one is equality. Now what is efficiency? Efficiency means the property of society getting maximum benefits from its scarce resources. So as a society, we need to think of the resources which will give you the maximum benefit to our society. And equality means the property of distributing economic prosperity fairly among the members of society. So for example, আমরা যখন tax introduce করব, so we are introducing tax for the wealthy people and then distribute the poor people to the tax. Why? Because to improve the standard of living for the poor people. So তুমি যত developed country দিকে দেখবে বা those countries who are developed, they have tax system like that. They tax the wealthy people, rich people, and distributed the tax amount to the poor people so that the standard of living will be higher what they are now. So another example, say the production of two products which I have discussed during the production possibility curve, guns and butter. So we have to choose how many quantity guns we will produce in a country and how many quantity of butter produce in a country, so that we can maintain our defense as well as we can maintain the food for our citizen. So definitely if I go for the gun production, I have to sacrifice butter production. Vice versa, if I have to go for butter production, I have to sacrifice some of the guns production. The second principle, the cost of something, the cost of something is what you give up to get it. Now because people face trade-off, making decisions require comparing the cost and benefit of alternative courses of action. So going to a college for a year is not just the tuition, books or fees, but the time you spend in the college, right? So if you are investing time, so you have to calculate all the cost including tuition, books, fees and the time. So instead of going to the college, if you are looking for a job and getting a job, using the same time you can earn wages or you can earn salary. তো তোমরা যদি কলেজে না গিয়ে কোথাও চাকরি করো, পার্ট টাইম করো বা ফুল টাইম করো, you may get salary. So you are sacrificing the salary when you are going to a college. So think of yourself, instead of wasting time to other things when you are in the college, please invest your time to utilize the maximum benefit out of it, so that you can get a good degree, you can get a good marks, as well as you can grab a good job. Okay, so there is always an opportunity cost behind it. The next principle says you rational people think at the margin. So economists generally assume that people are rational. So being a rational, you always think to get a greater margin out of any activities. So consumer want to purchase the bundle of goods and services that allow them the greatest level of satisfaction with the given income level. So if the income level increases, the consumer also go for a better products. So farms also want to produce the level of output that maximize their profit. So every person, whether it is farm, whether it is an individual person, they look for their margin. So if you are a rational people, you think that whatever you are doing, that will give you the maximum margin or maximum return. So apart from the satisfaction level, you are getting maximum margin or profit out of the activities which you are doing. Next principle is the people respond to incentive. So incentive is something that includes a person to act. It is not only a person. If you give an incentive to a dog, he also acts what you want to do. So each and every creature are going for an incentive. So incentive is something that induces a person to act. When gas prices rises, consumer will buy more hybrid cars. When the petrol prices hikes happen in India, most of the people go for the buying diesel cars. Nowadays petrol and diesel car at almost at par, so people are looking for third type of car, which is battery operated cars. So nowadays most of the people are going for electric vehicles rather than petrol diesel cars. So when the taxes for the cigarettes or alcohol increases, people tend to consume less. So definitely there are some incentive for which people go to get the work. Now next portion of the principles deal with how people interact with the others. Now the principle number 5, trade can make everyone better off. So people benefit from trade. So if you are in the global scenario, if you are trading with the other countries, if you are dealing with the other states, like any scenario, you are benefited out of it. Why? Because if you are into the globalized market, you can get a better price. So suppose the domestic price of the sugar increases, always you can import sugar from the countries where the prices of the sugar is less than the domestic. So as you have seen in the Indian market, most of the electronic gadgets which made in China are dumped into India because of the price parity. In India, the price of a electronic gadget is more than the made in China product. So in market you will see lot of electronic products who's coming from China. So be it is your cell phone, be it is your refrigerator, be it your TV, televisions, all the products which made in China are more efficiently bought. So that's why মানুষ এখন যে সমস্ত কান্ট্রি থেকে সস্তায় জিনিস পাওয়া যায় they can take. So countries benefit from trading with one another as well. Trade allow for specialization in products that benefit the countries. So it is, for example, it was widely believed that centuries that the international trade, one country's gain from another exchange but the other country's losses, but it is not right. For example, if you are getting a good product from another country, you can grab it, whereas if that country is getting a benefit out of it, those products are selling to you. So there is a always better meant for the globalization. So we cannot stick to only a domestic territory. The next principle, principle number 6, markets are usually a good way to organize economic activity. So many countries that once had centrally planned economies have abandoned this system and trying to develop market economies. So market economy is an economy that allocates resources through the decentralized decision of many firms and households as they interact in market for goods and services. So market prices reflect both the value of a product to consumer and the cost of the resources used to produce it. Centrally planned economies or well-organized economic activity have failed because they did not allow the market to work. আমি যখন সাপ্লাই অ্যান্ড ডিমান্ড পড়াবো তখন দেখতে পাবে যে সাপ্লাই অ্যান্ড ডিমান্ড হচ্ছে গডস হ্যান্ড এবং সাপ্লাই অ্যান্ড ডিমান্ড ডিসাইডেড দ্য প্রাইস অফ এ প্রোডাক্ট অ্যান্ড দ্য কোয়ান্টিটি অফ দ্য প্রোডাক্ট. So next principle is known as the governments can sometimes improve market outcomes. So there are two broad reasons for the government to interfere with the economy: the promotion of efficiency and equality or equity. So government policies can be most useful when there is market failure. Market failure is a situation where market left on its own fails to allocate resources efficiently. If the market fails to allocate efficiently resources, then the market fails. So as an economist, we need to allocate resources to get the maximum out of it, maximum benefit out of it. So market failure can be the result of externality, the impact of one person's actions on well-being of the bystander. Example, pollution হতে পারে, war হতে পারে, দুটো কান্ট্রির মধ্যে war হতে পারে, কোনো pandemic situation হতে পারে. Because of that, market fails. Now if the market power or ability of a single economic actor or a small group actor like government have substantial influence on the market prices, he can influence the economy to a certain extent. Like কোনো কোনো ক্ষেত্রে ইন্ডিয়াতে দেওয়া হয় কৃষকদেরকে কিছু বেনিফিটস দেওয়া হয়, সিলিং প্রাইস বা ফ্লোরিং প্রাইস দেওয়া হয়, যে ক্ষেত্রে ধরো ইউআরএ কাল্টিভেটর তুমি প্রডিউস করছো প্যাডি, নাও হয়তো তোমার প্রোডাকশন কস্ট লেগেছে 30 রুপিস পার কেজি, বাট ডিউ টু হাই প্রোডাকশন 30 rupees per kg gone down to 15 rupees per kg. So what will happen to that cultivator? He will be at loss. So to mitigate these losses, government imposes price ceiling. That means the people cannot sell the product below the ceiling price, which is the cost price of the cultivation of paddy. So in this way, government can interfere sometimes to improve the market outcomes. And government is there to promote the efficiency in the market and the equality of the market or distribution of resources to the equal people, equal populations. So the next principle is the country's standard of living depends on country's production. So differences in the standard of living from one country to another are quite large. So our standard of living in India is quietly different from the US standard of living today. So the explanation of difference in living standard lies in the difference in the productivity. So USA are more advanced in their technology, so their output or productivity level is much more higher than India. So productivity is the quantity of goods and services produced from the each hour of workers time. So high productivity implies high standard of living. তো যেহেতু প্রোডাক্টিভিটি ইউএস এর অনেক হাই বা যে কোনো ডেভেলপ কান্ট্রির অনেক হাই, স্ট্যান্ডার্ড অফ লিভিং তাদের হাই, আমাদের কাছে কোনো একটা কনস্ট্রাকশন করতে যে পরিমাণ টাইম এবং লেবার লাগে, ডেভেলপ কান্ট্রিতে সেম কনস্ট্রাকশন করতে সেই পরিমাণ লেবার এবং সেই পরিমাণ টাইম লাগে না। সো দে আর মোর এফিসিয়েন্টলি ডু দ্য প্রোডাক্ট। তোমাদের কাছেই এক্সাম্পল আছে যে মেট্রো রেল তৈরি হচ্ছে আজকে কতদিন ধরে, you are not getting the benefit out of it. Probably your next generation will get the benefit out of it. But in case of developed countries, they are producing, they are manufacturing all this unit in a very efficiently and in a very small span of time. And also it depends on the equipment and skills and technology. So the developed countries who are equipped with good products, good instruments, and they have good skills and technology, they are more efficient. As a result, they have a better standard of living. Next principle is the 9th principle: prices rises when the government prints too much money. So in the value of the money increases if the overall level of inflation increases. What is inflation? Inflation, the level of prices in the economy going high. So an increase in the overall level of prices in the economy, inflation rises. So when the government creates a large amount of money supply, the value of the money falls. যখন আমি সাপ্লাই বা ডিমান্ড পড়াবো, দেখবে যে কোনো একটা প্রোডাক্ট বা কমোডিটি সাপ্লাই যখন বাড়ে তখন সেই প্রোডাক্টের ভ্যালু, দাম কমে যায়। আই উইল গিভ ইউ অ্যান এক্সাম্পল। প্যান্ডামিকের সময় 2009 সালে আমার মনে আছে ডিসেম্বরের প্রথমে যখন প্যান্ডামিক ধরা পড়ে এখানে ইন্ডিয়াতে, তখন মাস্কের দাম কি হয়েছিল? N95 মাস্ক সেলিং অ্যাট 800 রুপিস। Why? Because of the supply of the mask in the market is very normal, but the demand is very high. Now what will happen? The price of N95 mask nowadays, it will selling at 20-30 rupees in the market right now. So যখনই গভর্নমেন্ট মানি প্রিন্ট করবে, সাপ্লাই অফ দ্য মানি ইনক্রিজেস ইন দ্য ইকোনমি, ডেফিনেটলি সাপ্লাই যখন বেড়ে যাবে মানির ভ্যালু কমে যাবে। মানির ভ্যালু কমে যাওয়া মানে হচ্ছে ইট উইল ইনক্রিজ দ্য ইনফ্লেশন রেট। সো ইনফ্লেশন রেট বাড়া মানে হচ্ছে all the commodities, all the resources price are increasing. So in long run, inflation is almost always caused by the excessive growth in the quantity of money, which causes the value of money to fall. So government চাইলেই ইচ্ছা মতো মানি প্রিন্ট করতে পারে না। There are several factors out of it. মানি সাপ্লাই চ্যাপ্টারে আমরা এগুলো পড়বো, ম্যাক্রো ইকোনমিক্যাল থিংস, বাট ফর নাও this is enough. And the last principle, the society faces a short run trade-off between inflation and unemployment. So most economists believe that the short run effect of monetary injection is lower unemployment and higher prices. An increase in the amount of money in the economy stimulates spending and increases the demand for goods and services in the economy. As a result, higher demand may over time cause firms to raise their prices and also increases their manpower. So যখনই higher demand হবে, manpower increases হবে, তো your unemployment rate will reduce. But in short run এই phenomenonটা is applicable, but long run এর ক্ষেত্রে it has an adverse effect. What is the adverse effect? We will see in the different chapter. যখন ডিমান্ড বাড়তে শুরু করবে তখন তার সাথে সাথে ইনফ্লেশনও বাড়তে শুরু করবে। সো ইনফ্লেশন যখন বাড়তে শুরু করবে, যখন প্রাইসেস অফ দ্য কমোডিটি অ্যান্ড অল দ্য প্রোডাক্টস আর গোয়িং হাই, পিপল টেন্ড টু বাই লেস। যখন পিপল টেন্ড টু বাই লেস, তখন ডিমান্ড ইন দ্য মার্কেট উইল কাম ডাউন। ওয়ান্স দ্য ডিমান্ড উইল কাম ডাউন, the companies or the production unit will stop producing the product. As a result, there are many people who are unemployed ডিউরিং দ্য টাইম, বিকজ ফার্মের যখন প্রোডাকশান কমে যাবে তখন এত এমপ্লয়ির আর প্রয়োজন পড়বে না, সো দে উইল লে অফ দেয়ার এমপ্লয়িজ। সো অ্যাজ এ রেজাল্ট ইন লং টার্ম ইট উইল হ্যাভ এ রিপারকেশন এফেক্ট। শর্ট রান তো ভালো, ঠিক আছে, সোসাইটি ম্যানেজ করছে, আনএমপ্লয়মেন্টকে তাড়িয়ে দিচ্ছে, বাট ইন লং রান ইনফ্লেশন যখন বেড়ে যাবে তখন আনএমপ্লয়মেন্ট আরো বেড়ে যাবে। সো ডিউরিং দিস ফেজ এভরি ইকোনমি হ্যাজ এ বিজনেস সাইকেলস। কখনো কেউ বুম সিচুয়েশনে যাবে, কখনো কেউ রিসেশনে যাবে। সো অল দিস থিংস উই উইল স্টাডি ইন দ্য ম্যাক্রো ইকোনমিক্স, বাট ফর নাও this is enough to know about the principle 10. So these are the 10 principles where I have discussed all the principles. These are important for your exam. So if you like this video, please subscribe my channel. Also share my channel to your friends to subscribe this channel. I will come up with more videos in future. Till then, thank you very much.